Yo, what's goody, gang? What's good, members? It's your boy Mayor Raw, and I'm back again. Y'all feel me? So listen, the camera quality is probably a little, I'm saying, but it's all good though. You feel me? We gonna get that right. At least we got the laptop set up in the office back up and running, so we Gucci. Listen, I'm on a journey. That can follow me on a journey. You feel me? On the road to 100K followers, subscribers, whatever. I really need 1,000 some subscribers, or more than that. But on the road to 100K subscribers, it's your boy Mirror Bro. So right now, I just need a second. You feel me? Right now, I gotta make sure y'all see this. So I'm about to post a link up on the Grizz now. You feel me? And post a link up on the gram. About to send a link out before we get started. But if y'all see my background, y'all see what's going on. This who the F did I marry? I have never seen the series. I don't know what's going on. I just keep seeing this lady face keep popping up on my joint. So you feel me? We about to like see what's going on. For real, for real. We about to get right into it and see what the heck is going on with this lady. And yeah, cause she going viral right now. Like I'm trying to see like this is. You feel me? I'm trying to get the listening. Yeah, get that one. I forgot how I was getting it done. Hold on, my fault, y'all. We gonna get right in a second. I'm trying to find the. There we go. Okay. I hear myself. We Gucci. I ain't gonna cat. That was funny. But yeah, I need a team. You feel me? I need a team to do all of this. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? We starting from the bottom until we get somewhere. You feel me? I'm gonna drop it on the Grizz now. Instagram. Instagram. So everybody like, yo, watch this joint right now. Like, if y'all in this joint, send it to everybody. You feel me? Get myself together for like until 2 years old. Hold on, guys. If y'all here already, I appreciate y'all. You feel me? Y'all girl. If y'all here already, I love you guys. Let me make sure. Me invite Facebook, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start in like a couple minutes more. We tell everybody tap in because we gonna watch this together as a group. We about to see what's going on. Some of y'all probably already know what's up. I don't know nothing about what's going on. So y'all about to be just as shocked as me. You feel me? But if y'all already seen it, don't spoil it. You know what I'm saying? Let me rock out until I find out what's going on. But I'm about to start in a few moments, gangers. Alright, that should be Gucci. I should be like, you know what I'm saying, sliding in a second. I'm gonna get myself together. I know a few of my members going to slide. Alright, I think I'm good. Man, I can't. I can only respond with words. I can't do it, John. That's all Gucci. I'm about to start in a second, guys. Hold on. I think that was all the promo and I need to do for now to make sure everybody's tapped in. We about to we about to get started in that good in a second. Hold on. Y'all probably like, yo, cuz I gotta get right. All right, gang of Lampus. It's your boy Miro. We back again. You feel me? We back with some more reactions. That's what we back again doing. It's been a long time coming, but we back. You feel me? So listen, I've been hearing too much crazy stuff about, you know what I'm saying? Like I need somebody. I don't want y'all to spill the beans because like I don't know nothing about it. I just keep seeing this lady pop up on my timeline. Every time I go to the bathroom or whatever, I check my gram or whatever, I'll always see this lady on my timeline. I'm like, bro, I ain't even ever click it. And I've been seeing her for like 3, 4 days now. I don't know who she is, where her name is, none of that crazy stuff. I'm just like, bro, I got covered. Whatever she talking about, bro. This sound like deep. I'm calling people like, y'all know what's going on with this lady? Like, don't tell me nothing. Like, don't break it down, but just like, what the hell? And everybody like, bro, just go tap in, watch that joint. Like, this lady on some ish. I'm like, damn. So I'm thinking like, bro, we about to turn this into like, I remember the Trap in the Closet series where they put all of them together. I'm about to do that for y'all right now. Put all of these together as much as I can. You feel me? For the joint over. I think I probably got like an hour. You know what I'm saying on this joint. So, but it is gonna be uploaded straight to YouTube after this stream. But you know what I'm saying? Your boy Mirai to hop back on the stream bag. So listen, if y'all here, y'all here. You know what I'm saying? People that just now joining. Y'all better catch up. But listen, if y'all don't know about it, y'all about to know about it because I don't about to know about it. And I can't wait to find out what the heck this is. No bet. All right. So let me make sure the volume up real quick because y'all about to, we got to hear what she got to say. I heard this lady preaching, like preaching, preaching. So let's get this lady some love. Let me turn it up just a little bit because I know this jump get a little low. All right. Let's, let's see what's going on. Let's go to part one. Let's do it.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site and
My bad, yo, my
We
bad.
also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one
So pretty much right now, because I feel like this about to get spicy. So she about to talk about some crazy relationship stuff, I guess. Bro, she just found out that whoever she was dealing with was dating ex. Damn. So he with her looking for other chicks. Sheesh, some guys is just yo, damn, man, I feel bad. Sometimes, bro, listen, women have feelings too. All right, so all my fellas watching right now, I just want y'all to know that women have feelings too, bro. Don't always like listen. Were you drawing that lady or something, bro? Or just think like, bro, how would you feel if like your mom or your sister or something came like just told you like, yo, son, keep hurting my feelings, whatever, like that. Like it took me a while. It took me till I was in my 20s to figure out that females had emotions and stop being a little coward, as I would say. But sheesh, man. All right, let's get back into it. I don't want. Let's get back into it. Let's see.
one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname
Okay.
that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a run.
I got a question. I got a question. Right. So y'all probably like, guys, no, hear me out. Plus, I'm waiting for more people to cop on too. So listen. So what if? So what if like, cuz, what if the bull like nickname was the nickname that she was calling him? Like, that's not funny. That's kind of drawn. But like, no, real rap though. Like, what if the bull nickname was like the nicknames that she knew? Like, how she find out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, cuz had to be on these dating apps. Like, here's my face. If y'all know my girl, da, 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 like, bro, you don't got to think about like maybe she got single friends. Like, that's not possible. I don't think it's possible for like your girl or whoever you with to have like other friends that's single. They might be on dating apps. You feel me? Like, well, I thought dating apps was played out though. I ain't even gonna hold you. Old head. I don't know. That's old heads for you. But let me get back to this real quick.
Running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also, that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored.
United Nations of red flags is crazy. Yo, Bull is just devious, and we didn't even get deep into it yet, bro. Bull just already seemed like he just drawn like he just a scumbag, bro. He was doing her wrong already, and she's seeing the flags, and she was just like, "That's what love would do to people." You feel me? Love would make you ignore a lot of red flags, as I would say. You feel me? But sometimes you gotta like be real with yourself. You be real with yourself as a person and really feel like, bro, is it really worth going through all this stress? Like, I understand some people might be like, oh, they put time into relationships and they don't want to like let like all that history go, but like save yourself. Let's get back into it.
Ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call.
Dang. So what y'all about to say is he about to make Philly dudes look real bad right now. You about to have us, and I'm in Philly. You about to have us going out bad right now, bro. Oh man. Dog, he about to draw on Philly dudes right now. I don't even know what to say. Sheesh. You just gonna fold on us like that? God damn. Let's finish. Let's finish, man.
Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had two brothers and two sisters. He also had two half brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So
Okay.
I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was
So their first phone call, boy giving up all this tea. All this tea. He just giving whole life away. Like I understand on the first phone call, y'all talking, y'all getting to know each other, but I'm thinking like, what's your favorite color? Purple. What's your favorite vegetable? You know what I'm saying? What you like to do? My man started going in.
the first phone call we had. So we talked about family, we talked about friends, we talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also, in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL, I know about college, go dogs, but I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, like, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football, and I believe I did tell him that. I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So
I feel like arena football is like semi-pro or like something like that. Something up the alley.
he told me, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing, and they are helping me to look for a house. He was like, I'm trying right now. I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. Um, he eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what
Okay.
was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived.
I ain't gonna cap. Atlanta traffic. I feel like in Atlanta you better off walking. I feel like you can walk, you get there probably at the same amount of time as the traffic, depending on how far you're coming from. But traffic in Atlanta, bro, this is rush hour every second. And then the rush hour, for real. Sheesh.
lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how.
W date, she had a date. I'd be like, it's too. If I just get a date too, gotta call the whole gang. Like, bro, look, I'd have sent the picture, the Instagram, and everything in the group chat.
How it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures because, that's always an issue with online dating.
Catfish is definitely brutal. No cap.
Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car.
Oh,
Thank God that this, well, not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I
her driving skills is on a beam. Her driving skills is on 100. I give it to her.
said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet. And he was like, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin. And he came to the gas station. Came to the gas station, got out the car, and I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures that I was like, oh my god, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Um,
She hype.
oh, also, man, I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had two children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had
Yeah, I think those is real kids. He already starting off bad. Yeah, I think those is real kids.
divorce because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this. Oh my God, I had
Girl.
butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies, and we go in. There's a long wait, and so we sit outside and we just talk, and the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He was like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And
I feel like guys is really good at that, telling females what they want to hear. But women is also good at showing guys what they want to see. I'm just saying.
I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married, definitely want to have a family, and I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part one.
All right. All right, it's getting a little, it's getting a little crazy. Hold on, let's look. What we back. We right at part two.
All right, who the fuck did I marry? Part two.
Hold on. Cause this joke getting crazy. So listen, we wait man wrong. We back again. Part two on who the f did she marry? Because this nigga is insane, bro. God damn, yo. All right, we right back at this mix, yo. All right.
So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we were dating for marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which um, is kind of up my alley, my sense of humor. It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, or excuse me, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know the name of the song. By the time this video posts, I will put the name at the bottom. I can't remember the song. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign. So I was
Hey yo, somebody put this song in the chat real quick. What's John Legend's song? I think he try to pull every hat trick out the book he can think of right now. Like, boy, really trying it. Hey yo,
I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we ended up sitting in the car talking just about life and experiences until about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me how it was, what it was like living in California, how he went out there, he went to San Diego State, he played football for San Diego State. He talked about how, you know, he loved it out there, so he stayed. That's when he joined the company. Um, and then he explained that he also did arena football, but only did it for about 2 or 3 years. He claims that while he was doing arena football, the team that he was on won a championship. But again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about arena football. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, he was on that team. So he talked to me about how he worked at Apple. He worked something in the IT area of Apple, but within the store. Again, it was one of those. It's like when
I feel like cuz just replace screens. Yo, and then right, this go around this boy probably replaced the phone screens, bro, or something not even that crazy, bro. The way he treating this girl, bro. Yo, oh man, and he making Philly look bad, cause y'all know, boy from Philly, so he's drawing like he making us look real bad right now. Like, no,
tell people I used to work at Amazon, I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Why? So we talked about all that. We talked deeply into what happened with the ex-wife. It's because I asked. He was not volunteering all this information. So in other words, I get very uncomfortable when men start talking about their ex a lot. That's not what happened. I was asking questions because I was really trying to figure out, okay, are you ready for a relationship, or are you still
right? Like if you with your new chick or your future, whatever, why are you bringing up your ex for what? What does your ex got to do with right now? What you missing? Like, if I'm with my chick right now, bro, why am I about to bring up my ex? That means that my ex just came across my head. Like, you like, I just thought about my ex. That mean, come on, man. He just drunk.
still um, missing her? So we talked about that. We talked about my exes. That was a mistake I made because I talked about how I dated at
You know, certain men can't take punches.
One point in time, somebody I worked with. That will come back later. Um, and he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good. Midnight comes and I go home. Yes, I went home. We ended up talking, talking, and talking. Mind you, our first date was March 7th. And within about 2.5 weeks, Brian Kemp, our governor, shut Georgia down. We were going to be on lockdown.
Dang.
So during those 2.5 weeks, we talked every day. We went out again at Red Lobster. I remember Red Lobster.
It was
But
that bad.
everything was going great. The issue was, where are we going to quarantine? So the question was, are we going to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio type of situation. Like, it clearly, where he was staying, I was like, it's like a studio apartment, but he kept telling me like, this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like, he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company, where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find
Already, I feel like he got so many excuses on top of excuses on top of excuses. Like one of them, like, yo, when I seen you, like, didn't you have a car? Yeah, it's in the shop. The whole time, that was his cousin car or something crazy. He get that type of.
a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like, he's not trying to stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry, this should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. Da 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 da. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was, we're going to quarantine at the studio, or we're going to quarantine in my house? First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot, but this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment. During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that. Just two people who I thought were really on some. All right, let's see if this is going to grow into something. He came to my house. When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome. He was in a studio. Now, I'm telling you guys all of this in order of how it happened. So some things I'm probably going to insert what I was thinking and the mistake I made. Can I turn this off? No. Okay, I still need that. And I say that to say that I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. The decision was made, quarantine at my house. So the state went on lockdown. He came and stayed with me in my home, and for the most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of, bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you the way I grew up. It was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So there we go. So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. He paid the utility bills, and so when he's telling me that he's
I don't think that's that bad. He paid for everything that built the crib that he was staying in. He wasn't driving her car.
a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money. Um, and so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And I am not, this is where it's not gonna make me look good, but it's the truth. It was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills. It was a wonderful feeling. And so I kind of pushed to the side the fact that, yeah, you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like, he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes, because this was still March. So we're living together, and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean, and then we have a conversation about house. Is he still going to buy a house just for him, or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So the decision was made, let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what? We're together. I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us. He was like, this is how much I was approved for. That's when he showed me the Chase paperwork. It was a letter stating that and it had the Chase emblem at the top. He showed me a letter stating that he was approved for 700. All right,
All right. We're gonna go right to part three, man. We ain't even gonna play with it.
Dog, what the hell?
Oh wait,
What is your?
what the hell is that?
Hi, I am Reesa Teesa. I am the creator of the Who the
Do not listen to. Legion never loved me. He never. Do not listen.
Wait, I'm trying. Yeah, man.
All right, Who the
We're
Fuck
gonna
Did
go to
I
her,
Marry?
her
Part
journal.
2. So we both.
All right. Now we're just gonna go straight to Risa Tisa. Her John, cause it's not going crazy. So we need part three. If we can find it. Ooh-wee. Okay. Gotcha. We get in close. Part two, part four. We only got part three, part one. Yep, yep. Part two. You seen that, right? And they go straight to part four, part five. So double check. Part eight, part nine. All right, so we just gonna skip to part four.
All right, part 4. So we go to Home Depot, we go to Lowe's. I'm choosing all these appliances. He's taking pictures of the SKU number. We have representatives helping us, and he basically explained to them, "Hey, we're buying a house. We should be closing sometime in June. Can we order this stuff now? Can I put a hold on it? Like, what can we do? Because we're not ready for delivery." I stood there as the Home Depot rep said, we can hold it in our warehouse. Like, you can buy something and we can hold it. People do it all the time, especially with COVID. So I watched him pay. I want to say it was about it was either 350 or 500. I watched him pay a deposit on a whole new set of appliances for them, and they were going to hold it until we were ready for delivery. I watched this. So I was like, okay, good deal. Like, we got the appliances. Next, let's go to Rooms to Go and Ashley Furniture and find actual furniture. So we went all around Rooms to Go. We went to Ashley Furniture. We went to American Signature. And I saw all these things that I wanted. Again, he's taking pictures of it. He was like, I can go online and order it. I didn't think anything of it because, again, I just saw that we held the appliances. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So April turns into May. May 2020 comes. This is where things start to get a little interesting. May comes, and obviously we had not done inspection. And I'm asking him all the time, what's the deal with the house? He was like, oh, because of COVID, they're trying to get someone to do the inspection. But the guy that they had, it was always something. The guy they had caught COVID, so they're going to have to get somebody else. And he's like 15 houses backed up, so it'll be a while. So at this point in May, I know I look crazy. In this point in May of 2020, I started recording audio diaries. I don't know why. It was something just made me just start recording my thoughts in an audio diary, and I still have them. And I would save them by the date, and I would just start talking about what's on my mind. So I was like, I knew there was something was nagging me, like, but I kept pushing it out of my mind. I was like, you saw, this is what I reminded myself. You saw him pay for the appliances. You know the house is under contract. You know that he told you that he's the one who put the house under contract. Why would, like, I remember saying to myself, why would he lie about that? This is so easy to verify. Why would he lie about that? Have you caught him in any other lie? And at the time, the answer was no. So I really was like, maybe you just aren't used to a guy who actually does what he's supposed to do. Like, I was questioning myself and then answering my own questions. So inspection didn't happen. Around mid-May, I found out I was pregnant. May 2020.
Yo, it was getting in during the quarantine, but I wasn't expecting that.
I found out I was pregnant. He was ecstatic, and I was like, oh shit. The reason why I was oh shit is because, number one, I'm plus size. Number two, because of my age, I felt like it was probably going to be a high-risk pregnancy. And I wasn't married. And that nagged. I cannot tell y'all how much it nagged me. There was a lot of internal struggle in between. My family didn't even know that he had moved in at this point. I told them, that I was pregnant. Went to the doctor. Everything looked good. But again, because it was COVID, he couldn't go in with me into the actual room. So, doing any sort of ultrasound, doing the blood test, because my HCG levels were really high. So the doctor was like, hey, it might be twins. We don't know yet. You're still kind of early, along. They gave me a due date. The due date was January 26th of 2021. So, yeah. May, found out I was pregnant. So there was now more of a push into, we got to get a house. We got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm not having a baby in Riverdale. Okay, nothing against Riverdale, but I ain't having a baby in Riverdale. So we need to find out what's going on with this house. And so he was on top of it. He had an answer for everything. He was like, I'm gonna call and find out what's going on, blah blah blah. He then magically told me about a week later, oh, they're going to do inspection on the house like in 2 days. So I was just like, okay, keep in mind, I'm taking his word for it. I'm taking his word for all this. So he's like,
I feel like everything he be telling her be cap. He just be capping.
we're going to do an inspection. Once we get the inspection report back, then we will know what we're going to be responsible for. What are we getting ourselves into? So, I guess they did an inspection. He showed me an inspection report. Only thing that they said that the roof had just recently been replaced, which I remember he was very happy about. And the issues that there were for the house were minor. It was not a bad, because we did have a discussion about it. He was like, it's nothing that we can't handle. Then he said that we were set to close the end of May.
Okay.
We were set to close the end of May. He told me it was going to be a virtual closing. You're probably like, what the hell is a virtual closing?
Yeah, I ain't never heard that.
He's saying because of COVID, people are not closing in the office. They're doing a virtual closing where you would need to electronically sign the paperwork. This is what he's telling me. And so he was like, we're set to close like just before Memorial Day. And so for some reason, again, there's still that nagging part. For some reason, I didn't start packing. Anyone that knows me will tell you I hate moving. I've done it enough in my life. I hate moving. But I did not start packing up that house at all. I was just like, I'm pregnant. My body was changing so fast that it was like I can barely keep my eyes open half the day. And so, no, I didn't start packing. And I remember I did record, again, I was recording audio diaries just about every day. When something didn't sit right, I would verbally record it in the audio diary because I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's something. That was the theme of our relationship. I don't know what it is, but I know there's something. And so I remember talking to myself in my little prayer closet, because that's where I would do my recordings. And I remember thinking, what if we don't get this house? Like, what if he's lying? But again, there goes that thought process of, why would he lie about this? Like, who makes up that they're buying a house when in fact they're not? And then he's showing you all this paperwork. Like, come on, you can't be that jaded that you don't even believe what's in front of you. All right? So,
Shout out Jessica Smith. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
now we're going to go into part 5. All right, part 4.
All right. We're on part 5. We moving on up, man. Hold on.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Part 5.
part 5. Who the fuck did I marry? So, I'm questioning all this stuff in my head out loud on my audio diaries. And then once again, I'm like, but look at what he's giving you. Like, he's paying, it wasn't a question about money. It was just a question of, are we really about to move into this house? And keep in mind, he's paying all the household bills. He still is. So We were supposed to close before Memorial Day. We didn't. There was an excuse. There was always an excuse with him. Always an excuse. And I didn't
He always got excuses and answers. He got answers for everything and an excuse for everything. Scary.
know enough about the process to question stuff because I really wasn't involved the way I should have been. And it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I'm pregnant with a lot of anxiety. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was not expecting that I was probably going to have a healthy pregnancy because I was stressed. And what I was stressed about is I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't really involved the way that a normal relationship would be involved. Just being honest. So we did not close. We move now into June. This is now going into June. Around June 5th, I looked at the house again on realtor.com. I don't know what made me do it other than, and I don't mean to sound super spiritual. I know that people are like, you may or may not believe in God, but I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart, probably the Holy Spirit was like, look at that house on realtor.com. So I looked at the house on realtor.com. This was around June 5th. It showed that the house was off the market. And I remember being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because ex-husband is telling me we're about to close on the house. We're about to close. It's our house. We got furniture, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. He's also telling me that he's been in contact with the realtor, his friend, who was telling him, this is what was happening next. Here's what's going on. So the guy that we initially worked with apparently is completely out of the picture. But again, I was not heavily involved. So I'm just like, let me look at the house. I see it's off market. What the fuck does off market mean? Like, now I'm really freaking out. So it shows the name of the real estate agent for the seller. I don't remember her name. I called her and I said, excuse me, I said, my husband and I, even though I wasn't married, my husband and I were looking at this house at 123 Main Street. And we really wanted to tour it, but now I'm showing it's off market. Is it not available? Or, I pulled that card. And she was like, oh, no, ma'am. The home closed yesterday. It closed June 4th. Again, there are certain dates I just remember. And I said, oh, it closed June 4th? I was like, really? And she said, yes, ma'am. She was like, my sellers sold the house. And I was like, oh, man, okay. Well, I said, my husband and I really wanted, we love the pictures of it. And we're getting ready to start a family. So I would have loved to have been able to, have the opportunity to see it. I asked her something. I don't remember the specific question I asked her. And I know why I asked the question, because I was anticipating that my boyfriend at the time was going to have some sort of excuse. So I asked her something about the buyers. And I remember, and somehow, again, forgive me, I don't remember the question I asked her. But the answer was that it was an older white couple. Older white couple. So I get off the phone with her. I record an audio diary, and in the audio diary, I specifically say, okay, there is no house. He's going to have to get out of this lie somehow. Because now I realize, at the very least, he was lying about him being the one who was under contract. I knew enough about that. So I was like, what, how was he going to get out of this? Again, I've listened to the audio diary in 2024. I literally said in that audio diary, how is he going to get out of this lie? And I was trying to think of ways on how he's going to do it. And something said to me, because I say it on the audio diary, I said, he's going to say it's a bad deal. And he's going to say he wants to pull out.
Like she can predict the red flags before the red flags come. She's been in it this long. It's like every day he wake up and lie to you. It's like it's like, listen, I predict the guy that she's dealing with, because we got 45 more videos to go. But right now, I can see that as soon as they wake up, before he even brush his teeth, before he even say good morning to her, he already prepared to lie. Like he's ready to lie as soon as he wakes up. Gosh, like he's an impulsive liar. Like, yo, this lady, she can't catch a break for nothing. Next thing we gonna figure out that his money was fake and that she was taking her money. Like,
Y'all keep in mind, I am pregnant. So I had a decision to make. As ugly as this decision was, I made the decision, you're about to have a baby with this man. He's paying all the household bills.
mm-hmm.
Let him get out of the lie. And that's what I did.
Okay,
I
third.
purposely made the decision that I knew he was going to come back, and I knew he was going to give me some bull.
It's like she got herself ready for him to lie. Like when females do that, like when y'all about to like, I know the answer. Do you ever prepare yourself with like dudes to lie to y'all? 'Cause she's ready for him to lie again.
Bullshit on why he couldn't buy the house, because he didn't know that I knew that house is already sold. The house is already sold. And this is the part where I said, I'm gonna be honest, even though it's gonna make me look bad, because most women in their right mind would have been like, I'm out, and I didn't. So, sure enough, he came home. He didn't really say anything that day. The next day, I asked him about the house, and he said, my friend, the realtor, he was like, I'm talking to him because something's going on with the interest rate. And when he said that, I felt so much relief, because I knew that I had been prepared for, he's going to give you some bullshit.
She knew, she knew it was coming. The interest rate lie was insane.
So when he said there's something with the interest rate, I said, you know what? If this is literally what I said, y'all.
She should have said, that's what she should have said. She should have just, yo.
If the interest rate isn't good, then we shouldn't move there. We should probably let this house go. We should cancel whatever furniture we ordered, or, appliances, and let's just look for another house. I said I would like to be moved before the end of the year. I said I really don't want to be 9 months pregnant moving into a house. I would like to be done with this before then. And the way I said it was so calm, and he was like, okay. He was like, I'm gonna call the friend, the realtor, and tell him I'm backing out of the house, and I'm gonna see if I can get my earnest money back. And I remember looking at him. I was standing in the kitchen, and I cocked my head to the side, and I said, okay, get your earnest money back, and let's find another house. And so that's how that first
But he never, this money fake. This money fake. Gotta be.
house fell through. So, fast forward, I keep looking at this to see how much time I have, because they only give you 10 minutes. So this is part 5, part 6 is coming up, but subsequently what ends up happening the next week, which is mid-June, I was at work, and I started cramping, started bleeding. And at this point, my doctor, I had just had an ultrasound earlier that day. So I went to work because the ultrasound was fine. I went to work and the cramping and the bleeding started, and I started crying because I kind of knew what was going on. And my doctor had called
This joint got me staring like I'm a therapist. Like I'm into this joint like it's a, you know what I'm saying?
me and told me that when they did the ultrasound, they did not see a heartbeat. So she was like, this pregnancy is not going to be viable. So I'm crying, hysterical. And now we're going to get into part 6.
Damn, even his, you know what I'm saying, was fake. Yo, he just sucked. What?
Okay, so this is part 6 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So, where we left off. So, obviously, my doctor had called and told me there was no heartbeat, the pregnancy was not viable at that point, and I was cramping and spotting at work. Went into my best friend's office and immediately started crying. She was like, "What's going on?" And I said, I told her what the doctor said, and she grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and was like, "Let's go, I'm taking you home." On my way home, I called my boyfriend and told him what the doctor said, and he was like, "I'll meet you at home." So he was coming from Duluth, went straight home. And so about 24 or 48 hours later, I had a doctor's appointment, and my doctor gave me 3 options. First option, let everything happen naturally. Your body will expel the fetus on its own. Second option, you can take a
What?
pill which will induce expelling the fetus at home. The pill basically will cause you to contract and expel. The third option was to go into the hospital and do a DNC. I did not want to do a DNC because I did not want to be in a hospital with COVID going.
What in the world is a DNC? Oh, yeah, women. Is that another word for period?
On. Um, and for whatever reason, I did not do the option of let it happen naturally. So I chose to do the pill. His birthday was June 17th. My ex's birthday was June 17th. So the decision was made, we're going to celebrate his birthday that day, go out to eat. And then that night, I would take the pill because we both were off from work the next 2 days, next 2 or 3 days. So, went out to eat to try to celebrate as best we could, and then took the pill that night. That night was the most traumatic, excruciating pain I've ever put my body through. I do not recommend any woman, if prayerfully you don't have to go through that, but I don't recommend taking that pill. If you don't have to, don't do it. I spent the whole night in the bathroom, just crying in so much pain. I couldn't take, they gave me a narcotic. I couldn't take it because I found out I was allergic to it. So it was causing me to like projectile vomiting. And it was a mess. So, and he was right there. You know, he was scared that he needed to take me to the ER. But in the morning, the pain kind of subsided. So about 72 hours later, I had another doctor's appointment where the purpose of this appointment was to do an ultrasound to see if everything had passed. Everything did not pass. So because of that, my doctor was like, we're going to have to do a DNC. My DNC was scheduled for the first week of July. My boyfriend, my ex, was going to take me. That was always the plan. 2 days before my procedure, he comes home and tells me that he is up for a promotion. He's up to be promoted to VP. Because of this, the president of the company, excuse me, is coming in, and it was going to be this huge business meeting he had to go to. The business meeting was scheduled for the day of my surgery. And so I'm throwing a fit because I was like, there's no way you can do that meeting. Like, I need you to take me to the hospital and all this other stuff. And so he offered to have his sister take me to the hospital. Apparently his sister lived in Douglasville. I was like, no, because I've never met her. Like, I'm not having a stranger take me to the hospital. No, this is a private situation. I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. So my aunt had offered to take me. And then my friend who took me home from work had offered to take me. So at that point, we get into an argument because he's like, my sister is, you family, so why can't she step in? And I was like, nah, because I don't know her. Period. I don't know her. So my friend offers to take me to the hospital because I was all distressed that he's saying he has a business meeting and he can't take me. So I remember being on I-75 on the connector on the phone with her crying because I was so embarrassed that he wasn't going to be the one to take me and that I was needing to rely on someone else to take me to the hospital in order to get a D&C done. And she was really great. She was like, girl, this is why you have a village. Like, it's okay. Things happen. The world is crazy right now. I will take you. You're going to be okay. So he did not take me to the hospital for my D&C. My friend did. She could not stay because of COVID protocol. So when they wheeled me into pre-op after I got checked in, I texted him and was just letting him know, hey, here's the update. I'm about to, I'm in pre-op. They're going to get me prepared to go back to the surgical ward or whatever. And the response I got was from his new executive assistant named David. Now, when he told me he was up for the promotion, he did tell me that part of getting this new job would be that he would get an executive assistant named David. And he did tell me, I'm going to make sure that I inform David if you get a text from this number, meaning from me, pull me out of the meeting because, my fiance's having a procedure done and I'm picking her up. So it's important that you come get me if it's something serious. So I text him. David responds. He said, yeah, Mr. Blah Blah told me that you are having a procedure done. If you need me to get him, I can go get him. He's in a meeting. Just let me know what you need. And I just said, no, don't bother him. I'm just giving an update that they're about to take me back. And David responds and says, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please let me know if there's anything I can do.
It's probably him responding to her, acting like he did it.
So I have the procedure. I wake up and I am now in recovery. I should be in recovery 45 minutes up to an hour and a half. I wake up, first thing I ask, and I remember asking, is where is so-and-so? The nurse who was so sweet, she was like, everything went well. You're doing great. She said, we spoke to your fiance. He's on his way. So I said, okay, I kind of dozed back out, but I could still hear everything that was going on. I just could not keep my eyes open to save my life. So I hear her talk to the other nurse, and that's when she said, yeah, Dr. So-and-so called her fiance, and his executive assistant picked up. And the executive assistant said that he was in a business meeting and that, you could relay to him what you need to say, and he'll tell the fiance. And my doctor was like, hell no, HIPAA, I need to speak to him. So apparently, my fiance called the doctor back about 30 minutes later, and the doctor informed him she'll be ready to be discharged in about an hour. You know, you can make your way and come pick her up. He said he was on his way. He was on his way from Duluth to Atlanta, which is not a huge distance, but the time of day, one thing about Atlanta, there's always traffic.
Yeah, we
So
just spoke about that.
he should have been there within the hour. I should have only been in recovery an hour and a half. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so
All right, so we have part 7. We going live and strong. Let's see what's going on.
okay, so I just want to clear up some. All right, part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we some. All right,
It be skipping parts, but
all
it's
right,
cool.
part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we submitted an offer on the house in Smyrna. I sent it over to Scott, our realtor, and next day comes. Scott asks if we can take a phone call. So he calls us and tells us that the offer was not accepted and the builder did not do a counter offer. We don't exactly know why. We don't exactly know why he didn't accept it, but the bottom line is that we figured out later on that he didn't want to finish the basement. So the offer was not accepted. The house fell through. I was okay with that because, again, I knew he had put in an offer. So we continued looking at other houses. We found another house in Smyrna that he really liked. I thought that it was way too big for just the two of us. And so the price of this home was much higher than the $750,000 that Chase had approved for the mortgage. So, what he explained to me was that he was willing to do the $750,000 mortgage, and he was also willing to put a significant amount of the money in savings on the house, which meant that he was now comfortable going from 750,000 up to about 900,000. Again, his whole explanation was, I have the money where I can put down a substantial down payment, bring down the price of the home, and then basically mortgage the rest of it. So that was now the plan. I was not comfortable with a home over $900,000. But again, keep in mind, I saw the Chase paperwork. So I was like, I just feel more comfortable sticking at the 750,000 mark. That's what you were approved for. Let's go with that. By this point, this is now fall of 2020. We had been talking about marriage. I had my ring. He had made VP at the company. And again, he was calling me every day from work. The, I need to kind of explain how the company was ran because when you think VP, you would think he would be in an office. It was a condiment company, so they actually were producing the condiments, and I'm not saying the name of the company on purpose, but they were producing the condiments in this particular plant location. So a lot of times, he would simply tell me that he walked the floor, checking in with his subordinates, basically. Now, how did he go to work? For the most part, at this point, he left before I woke up. However, pretty much he wore dress pants, kind of like a dark navy blue cargo pant, and he had a polo shirt with the company logo on it. What I saw a lot of times is that he would not wear the polo shirt to work. He would wear like a company t-shirt. He would wear rubber sole shoes and the navy blue cargo pants. I didn't think it was a uniform, but it reminded me of what someone would wear when I worked at Amazon if you're going to be doing manual labor. He didn't go to work sloppy looking at all, but it definitely was not suit and tie. Nowhere near suit and tie. It is fair to note that outside of work, he was a man who he loved to dress. He loved to wear the latest Jordans. He loved to collect watches. He collected a lot of Invicta watches. He he loved to collect hats. He wore hats, baseball caps everywhere because he didn't like the shape of his head. So in terms of how he dressed casually, the man, he could dress. In terms of how he dressed for work, yeah, he didn't dress like a VP. But his excuse was, I'm constantly walking the production floor, and I can't be in a suit and tie walking the production floor where they're creating the condiments that we're selling. So by this point, again, this is fall. We're still looking at houses. We're still touring houses as much as we can because it is COVID. We had found another house that we really liked and a house that I really truly wanted to put an offer in on. This was now going to be the second house that we put an offer on. He put in the asking price, I believe, was about $700,000. He put in under asking an offer for about $650,000. I'm guessing, but I'll try to find the house and put it on the story. The reason that house fell through, we found out that the home was sitting on a septic tank. We found out that the septic tank had an issue, and it would have taken about $15,000 to $20,000 to fix the septic tank. The sellers were not willing to fix the septic tank. Personally, I didn't really care for the house that much. I'm the one who was like, I don't really want it. So even though we put an offer in, we had 24 hours where we could pull our offer back. And so we did. Once we found out, I believe it was in the disclosure. And if you're a realtor, please feel free to tell me if I'm using the wrong terminology. But I believe it was in the disclosure that they told us the septic tank needs to be replaced. That's when I was like, nah, I don't want that house. So we pulled out. The house fell through, and so I was fine with it because, again, I was heavily involved. I saw him sign the offer. I knew every step of what was going on. Our real estate agent, Scott, was amazing, but you will see when I get to it where he made a mistake as a real estate agent. So house number 2 fell through. We then moved on, saw a few more houses, and then we get to house number 3. I'm going to pause talking about the houses because now I need to introduce what happened with the cars. Stay tuned. All right.
She dating a bunch of cat.
Part 9 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So we're pausing on the house stuff. Let me tell you about the car. So when I met my ex-husband, I was driving a 2012 Nissan Rogue, fully loaded. It had quite a few miles on it, but it got me from A to B. It was in good condition, but I was upside down in the car. He was driving a 2018 Ford Taurus, sport mode. I know he had a sport mode on the car, and I love driving that car. When he told me how he was a regional manager, he told me that one of the perks that came with the job was that he would be getting a company car. And so we spent time going to Range Rover of South Atlanta. We spent time going to Jaguar. We spent time going to BMW. We spent time going to Ford, which was on Mount Zion in Morrow, if you all are familiar with that area. He test drove a whole lot of cars. In the end, he decided on a BMW sedan. I was there when he test drove the car. I got in the car with him. I loved it. And he explained to the salesperson, I'm getting a company car. I need to get a printout of the full price of the car, tax tag and title. Because what my company is going to do is wire over the money for the car. The salesperson was like, okay, you know, apparently that happens a lot. So he gave him a printout with the tax tag and title for the car. In front of me and the salesperson, he called the person in the finance department for his job. Obviously, I have no idea what this person's name is, but he called the person. He explained to them, this is the amount of money. He said the president of the company, so-and-so, has authorized for him to get a car, not spending more than, I think, $90,000 tax tag and title. The BMW came out to just under $90,000. And so I remember this conversation so fucking vividly. So he's on the phone in front. I'm sitting down, the salesperson sitting down at their desk, and he's like, they put me on hold. And so he's like, I guess the person comes back and he says, yeah, the price of the car is blah, blah, blah. He was like, give me a second and I can send you a picture of that printout that shows tax tag and title for the BMW. He gets off the phone. He takes a picture of it. He sends it to whoever. He waits about 10 minutes. He calls the person back. He says, did you get it? Apparently the person did get it. But the person who can actually physically do the wire transfer had gone home for the day. So what he says to the BMW salesperson, he's like, okay, we're going to have to do this tomorrow because so-and-so went home for the day. I don't know who the salesperson is. I can only tell you from my viewpoint what I thought. I had no reason to think this was a lie. I really didn't. Because again, you got to please keep in mind the circumstances that all of this is happening. We're inside the dealership. We're sitting at the desk of this person. He gave us the printout. He's on the phone, doing business, basically saying, look, this is how much money the car is going to cost. He's taking a picture of it. He seemingly is texting someone saying, this is how much, this is proof of how much it is. Then he asked the BMW salesperson, I need your wire transfer information. The guy got up, rushed over to, I guess, their finance area to get the bank wire information, because obviously you have to wire it a certain kind of way. Rushes back over, gives it to my ex-husband. My ex-husband's like, okay, first thing in the morning, we will get this wired over, and then, I'll come and pick up the car. My fiance, me, will drive me up here to pick up the car. So we leave. He felt like, because at the time that this all happened, I was pregnant. So he felt like, look, we're about to have a baby. I don't want you driving that Nissan Rogue. I want to get you something. I want to get you something more secure, something new. I really wanted a Kia. I really wanted a Kia Telluride. And he was like, well, let's look at the warranty. This man knew a lot about cars. He knew a lot about the warranty. He knew a lot about the depreciation value. And so he did talk to me a lot about what will we get the most for our money. We test drove, when I say we, I test drove a Kia Telluride, a Kia Sorento. He didn't like either of those. He had me test drive a Ford Explorer. He didn't really care for that. Then came time where he really wanted me to get a BMW. He really wanted me to get a BMW X5. So he took me to Global BMW Imports, which, if you know anything about Atlanta, it's off of Cobb Parkway, but you can see it off the highway BMW dealership. He took me there. He had me test drive an X5, an X6. He also had me test drive I think I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, a 525, which was a sedan. I did not like that. I wanted an SUV. I loved driving the BMW. He also had me drive an M-Series, test drive an M-Series. So he was very adamant that I should get a BMW. The reason being is because, according to him, he had a BMW in California when he lived in San Diego. He had a BMW that he loved. It was a white BMW. He showed me pictures of the BMW. So he showed me pictures of this white BMW that he had, and unfortunately, the car got totaled about 2 months before he moved to Georgia. So he had received money, not a lot, but some money to get another car, and he used it to get the Ford Taurus because he was like, I just need a car that's going to get me from A to B until I get into a house and I'm much more settled. For him, he was like, I'm really giving myself 60 days to get settled here in Georgia after moving from California. But then he met me. Again, that's the story. So he had me test drive the BMW. So much so, I loved the BMW. Loved it. I wanted a dark blue BMW with cognac interior. I wanted an X5, and I wanted an M Series. So I can clearly tell y'all that's exactly the car I wanted. We were online looking for that particular car because not every dealership had it. I was okay with a black BMW if needed. But I really wanted dark blue, and I really wanted that cognac colored interior. So he felt like, I want you to consider all of a sudden an Audi Q8. Let's just see how you like it. If you don't really like it, then we will go back to the BMW. I cannot tell you why he switched up. I can't. But I can tell you he took me to an Audi dealership on Peachtree Industrial. He test drove an Audi, and I test drove an Audi Q8. I loved the Q8. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But I was tired of test driving cars. By this point, I had test driven so many cars. Our weekends were spent either looking at a house or test driving cars. And I was picky, I will admit that. So he had me test drive the Q8. I really liked it. I finally just told him, look, I'm good with either the BMW or the Audi, because I'm tired of test driving cars. He told my family he was buying me a new car because keep in mind, not keep in mind, let me let y'all know, he had met my family initially on Zoom because, again, we were locked down. He had met my family. He also had met my family in person because at this point, it was like, look, if you're not showing any symptoms, maybe we can do family dinner. And so we had. So he had met my family in person. And now we will go ahead and move towards part 10 of this series.
Okay. I ain't even going to cap. I don't want to burn y'all out too much. You feel me? So what happened is, let me put it back up. I don't want to bring y'all out too much. So,
Down to get the friction on. So,
oh,
ladies, if you
let's
want to
just
roll.
chalk it all together. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Mirror Raw. That was crazy. That was intense. We was just on this jump for an hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate everybody who pulled up and slid. We done watched Who the F Did I Marry? Number 1 through 9. I'm about to break this up. We about to do another video. And I'm gonna start from 10 to 20. And we just gonna do vids of tens. Holy cow. But I appreciate y'all. Until the next one. Comment below what y'all think.